Well, here we are for Coffee with Coach with Katelyn Cook from the women's softball team. Today's interview comes to you from the press box at the new softball stadium here at the Kerr-Pagula Athletics Complex. So, Caitlin, maybe you can start out by telling us a little bit about your high school experience. Where'd you grow up? What was
Sure.
life like?
Yeah.
And go from there.
Great. So I guess I could start with I played softball when I was 5. I was in kindergarten, and
Okay.
my dad signed me up for Little League, and I fell in love with the sport. Grew up just north of Albany, Clifton Park, New York. Yeah, I just played all through my years. He was my coach, my assistant coach, along with um, another dad, another girl on my team. Um, yeah, I played all through um, middle school and such, and through those years, my family has been a great support in softball. My grandfather, before college, had only missed 4 games since I was like 10 or something crazy like that. So it's always been like a
Yeah.
fun family thing on the weekends, going to tournaments and stuff. Um, I went to a really big public high school. I graduated with 700 in my class. So sports were really competitive. Um, so actually, I ended up only playing up to JV softball, partially by choice and by because of injuries. Um, and so it was really kind of cool to come to Houghton and be able to pick up softball again. I mean, I always played travel ball in the summertime, um, but yeah.
Well, I know a little bit about Shenendehowa, believe it or not, 100 years ago. Before I came to Houghton, I worked at the high school level, and so
That's so
we
cool.
would schools I worked in were smaller Class D schools, but we'd go to the tournaments and we'd be at the state tournament and at Class D, and Shenendehowa would inevitably be at those tournaments in a Class A kind of
Yeah,
situation. But
very
you actually
competitive.
played 2 sports in high
Yes,
school. You played field
yes, I
hockey and
did.
softball. Tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started playing field hockey from the modified level, I think 7th grade, and then softball was mixed in there also. We had some really good teams. My junior year, we won states in field
Mm.
hockey, so that was exciting, and we were always really competitive in softball as well. So
Hmm.
yeah,
So, how'd you hear about Houghton before we transition athletically?
yeah,
How'd you hear about
yeah, of
Houghton?
course. Um, I had a friend actually in my church who was a year older than me, so she was coming to Houghton for a visit day,
Mm.
and I ended up meeting the husband of the field hockey coach, and
Mm.
so he sent my name to the field hockey coach at the time, and that kind of started the recruiting process for me. I was a junior, so it was pretty early. And so that's how it started. I was in email contact with both the field hockey and the softball coaches,
Hmm.
and they were really great to me. And no matter how much I neglected, I did not really. I wanted to go to college, but I hate making decisions, so the college decision process was really tough.
Mm.
But they kept pursuing me, and so that was really great. And I also, the science honors program at Houghton really drew me in. So,
Mm. Okay.
yeah.
So you got to Houghton
Mm-hmm.
and you came in, got started in the honors program, were playing
Mm-hmm.
softball and field hockey,
Yeah.
and had an injury your sophomore year, and life changed a little bit. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I had this chronic injury I came in with, and with the AT staff, they're great. Really worked through it and was really trying to push through. However, it was really tough, really hard on my body, and just being in pain constantly is not fun. So eventually, I end up though getting a cortisone shot, and so I'm all set now. But it was pretty hard my first 2 years, just trying to push through and develop different treatment plans. But the staff here has been great. I did some pool workouts and
Mm.
stuff with one of the athletic trainers. So yeah, it was definitely a rough first 2 years, and it did affect my academics a little bit, but um, pushing through and now being where I am, and I'm just glad I didn't give up on it, because I would have been really disappointed had I decided to stop playing sports before I was fully recovered.
So the balancing now, just doing softball with your
Mm-hmm.
academics, a little easier
Yeah.
balance. I mean,
Yeah.
you're 3.93 GPA, so obviously
Yeah.
you figured that out a little
Yeah. So my sophomore year actually added a math major to my physics
bit.
major, and that was really hard. So unfortunately, I had to make a tough decision. Something had to go. So adding the math major, unfortunately, decided to just focus on softball.
So instead of
Yeah.
being two sports in one major, you decided two majors in one sport.
Yeah. Little flip flop,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
What are your plans with that combination, math and physics? What do you want to do after college?
Yeah. So I actually had some great physics and math teachers in my high school, and they really inspired me. I want to teach at the high school level, both physics and math, hopefully. So yeah, I'm looking to go get my master's degree after Houghton in education and get into school as soon as possible.
Cool. So you joke a little bit about the two sports in one major thing, but
Yeah.
still, even with one sport, it's tough, and especially with those two majors, tough to balance those. How do you
Yeah.
schedule your day to make that work?
Well, my days are kind of crazy. Everyone looks different. But I am in the lab a lot. The physics department has an office for students to all work together. So I find myself there a lot. I have my own cubicle there, and I have some other classmates who play sports as well, not the same sports as I do, but and they completely understand, what we all go through, and I definitely lean on them for help, and that's kind of a highlight of the physics department here at Houghton, is working together. So that's the main thing. My day-to-day life is just leaning on other people to help me get through, and I'm just so lucky to be in a place like Houghton where I can go to my professors and say, I really don't understand this, but I have a game tomorrow and I can't make your office hour, and they're like, calm down, it's okay. Like, we can talk, we can go before breakfast, whatever you need to do to help me out. And so
I was going to ask you your favorite part about the physics program. It sounds
Yeah.
like the professors and your classmates, probably two of those things.
For sure. And it's definitely very challenging. So just that challenge, and it makes me really want to work hard, and yeah, the support system that I have, and just how tight-knit we are in the program is really great, and it really is the best learning environment for me.
Flip that around. What's your favorite part about being a softball player at Houghton?
Oh, wow, everything. I love it. I really, my coaches have been great. They're a very important part of my life, and I look up to them in so many ways. And the other girls on my team, I have a really great friend on the softball team, and just those relationships that I've been able to develop while I've been a part of the team probably is my favorite.
What about, and there probably isn't a lot of time when you're not tied up between sports and academics, given that load, but when you're not doing physics, math, and softball, what do you do to fill your time? What do you like to be involved in?
Yeah, well, I really like to relax. I have learned that in Houghton, that it's important to take time for yourself. So when I'm not doing physics, math, and softball, I'm normally just relaxing. I really like to read, actually. So yeah, whenever I can, I like to read a book for fun, or just hang out, try to lay low, because it's kind of a crazy life we live.
Any favorite kind of books you like to read?
Yeah, well, kind of embarrassing. I really like Nicholas Sparks.
Yeah.
Got it. So,
yeah. You stole my last question. I was going to ask you future plans. If you were queen for a day, what's life look like in 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, I would love to teach all day and then go out to the softball field and be a coach. That's really my goal, and I really have learned the importance of relationships here at Houghton, and I just want to take that to whatever community I go to, whatever school I go to, and I want to have good relationships with my students and coworkers, and really impact some lives.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, you certainly have impacted a lot of lives here, and we appreciate that, and we appreciate you taking time to we didn't bring our coffee cups today, but
I know,
to take time for folks to get to know you a little bit. So thanks a lot.